A brand new dramatic thriller from director-writer Taylor Sheridan is here with the returning star Angelina Jolie. I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I actually saw this at the cinema. This is my review of Those Who Wish Me Dead. We follow a survival expert who encounters a teenager out in the Montana wilderness. Without her knowing, he is a murder witness and finds himself pursued by two assassins. And at the same time, there's a massive forest fire that threatens to wipe everything and everyone out. First of all, I want to thank Warner Brothers UK for inviting me to the press screening. It was an amazing sensation to be back in a theater and watching a film for the first time in a theater. And before I dive into my thoughts, I know over in the States the film is already out, so why don't you let me know your thoughts on Those Who Wish Me Dead? How do you rank the Taylor Sheridan films? All of that in the comments below. Start the conversation, and while you're down there, consider clicking the subscribe button if you haven't yet. It helps the channel a lot. It does wonders to get my content out there, and you'll always be aware of whenever I upload some great new content. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Sheridan as a writer and director. I've loved, or at least liked, all his films, and this one is no different. This is a very visceral, nail-biting thriller that stacks up the stakes and the characters and puts them into places where the tension is on a constant rise. Every scene, every frame of this film helps in building that tension to a crescendo, and you feel that from the very beginning. And Sheridan is very good at displaying humanity on screen. There are several ways to do this. In this film, for instance, he does a lot of things to showcase pain. And I know that sounds generic, but he goes out of his way to really showcase it in ways that not many other films do. Sometimes you'll see someone with a very bad looking wound underneath on the sole of their feet, and it just shows someone pouring alcohol into it. And he just lays a shot there and lets it be for you to absorb that agonizing, nasty pain. Or sometimes someone falls off a big height, and because they had to put their hands down, you see them scraping the dirt and the dust from their hand wounds with a knife. It's little stuff like this that Taylor focuses a lot on that I really respect, and I think it's really effective for what the film is trying to do. Of course, he does much more than that to showcase humanity. I think Angelina Jolie does a tremendous job in this film. She's amazing, and she just reminds you how much of a powerful screen presence she has. She's excellent. She truly is excellent. She has a very tragic past that she's living with, and that's why you don't see her during this film doing the things you expect to see someone like her doing. But when she gets a chance to meet this kid and has a chance to try and help him, it's exactly the thing she needs to suppress her trauma. This kid as well, Finn Little, I have never seen him in anything before. This is one of the best child performances I have seen in recent years. I don't know if it's his first, but if it is, all the more impressive. He is phenomenal in this film. I think the last time a child performance impacted me and surprised me this much was the main girl in Conjuring 2. And that's going back a while. He's truly fantastic, and Angelina Jolie and him play excellently off of each other. The acting in general is just great. Aidan, Gillen, Nicholas Hoult, John Bernthal, who feels he's always constantly in Taylor Sheridan movies, all for the better, because he's fantastic. He plays very much someone against type. And obviously something very important in this film are the action sequences. They are excellent. They are quick, but they are very brutal. They are very nasty to watch, very effective. The sound design, the score, they're all really good and enhance all these elements of the film. Not only the action sequences in their effect, the pain that you see in some characters with the examples I gave, but also the story, that rising tension throughout on those building blocks that I talked about. There are some issues, however, with the film that let me down a little bit. I find quite a few things in the film underwritten in terms of characterization, specifically for our villains. The acting is great. I think the characters are written to be functional, and that's really it. We understand they're after this kid. We don't exactly know why. We know he knows something, but we don't know what that what is. We don't know what that something is. We don't know who hired these dudes, why they hired these dudes, why are these dudes so committed. They have this weird relationship that I think could have come across not weird if we had them better written, as well as Angelina Jolie's backstory. It's clear, it's there, it's to the point, and they don't dive much into it. But again, it's just functional. These things that work in the film could have actually had a compelling emotional effect if they had gone for a better polish, for another rewrite of these aspects of the film. I can still recommend Those Who Wish Me Dead. I think as a thriller, it works tremendously well. I think the acting is fantastic. The set pieces are really fun to watch, and man, was it good to watch it on a big screen. It has its issues, but I think this is one that you'll have a really good time with, and continues to prove how great of a writer and director Taylor Sheridan is. I'm giving Those Who Wish Me Dead a B-. Now, what did you think of Those Who Wish Me Dead? Have you seen it? Do you want to see it? How do you rank the Taylor Sheridan films? Let me know all of that in the comments below. And if you've watched this far but still haven't subscribed, consider clicking it. It costs you nothing and you'll do wonders to get my content out there. And if you ever get tired of my face or my voice, you can always unsubscribe. It's all fine and dandy. Thank you so much once more for watching, and thank you again to Warner Brothers UK. I cannot wait to go back to the theater now that they're open. So until the next video, love each other and love the movies.